So I really wanted to share everything that I found myself being pulled through, valuable learnings that I experienced. And yeah, so I've been embodying those, learning those the last month, and I want to share them today. In addition to that, tonight's call is going to be broken up into two parts primarily. So the first part is going to be a hypnomeditative journey, which is basically a meditation, a little visualization um, that I channeled earlier today. The structure of, at least, we'll see where it goes, because Spirit always takes me in new and exciting and creative directions as well. That will be the first part of today's call. After that, I'm really going to speak to and hopefully answer some of the questions that I kind of rhetorically posed in the emails out to you guys, and also the three kind of main points of today's call. So cleansing our energy of psychic debris, old attachments and cords, how you can recalibrate your energy to your own heart's resonance and the higher aspects of yourself, and how to stay in and radiate your own energy and embody your truth. So the journey will answer some of those and really help to activate, heal, and clear. And the second part will just bring a bit more of the kind of conscious and logical and mind aspects of things that we can stay aware of, things that have really helped serve me and I keep coming back to again and again, to come back into my energy, to release any hooks, any cords, how I can get pulled out, how I can get pulled off center, how I can sneakily sabotage myself. All of those learnings I'm going to share in the second part of the call. If for any reason, I'm going to try and keep it within the hour. If for any reason you can't stay for the whole hour tonight, no worries. The replay will be made available and that will be sent out probably tomorrow morning. So it's so nice to see some faces that I know and love. So hello, everybody. Thank you for joining today. The last thing I want to say is that this is a co-creation. So I'm bringing my intentions, but you guys get to bring all yours too. If there's something particular that you're wanting to let go of or call in or work with tonight, whether that's energies, qualities, members of your own healing team, spirit guides, certain rays of light, whatever it is, I invite you to bring that into this space as we open it up as well. So this is really a time for you, and it's a real honor to be here and to serve. So let's start tonight. I'm going to try and do this with the aircon off because I don't like the vibration of it. But if I start melting, I might have to put it on. We'll see what happens here. You might see like the glow just becomes, this shine is sweat. So yeah, we'll see how hot I get here. But let's start just by taking a couple of rolls of the shoulders, taking any movement your body actually is asking for to allow you to come to stillness. Allow yourself to close down the eyes or soften the gaze, whatever feels comfortable for you. And let's just start by taking a really nice deep inhale all the way down into the belly. Exhale, sighing out through the mouth, maybe making a sound if you wish. Taking two more slow and steady breaths. Inhaling all the way down into the very depth of the belly, all the way down into the root of the body. And exhaling, letting it go. Taking one final breath, seeing if this could be the slowest and the deepest breath you've taken all day. Enjoying, noticing, feeling, watching the breath enter the body, how it changes the shape as the belly expands, as the ribs lift, as the chest lifts. And when you're at full capacity, taking a moment to pause before you release. Okay. Bringing your left hand and just placing it over the heart center. Taking a moment to breathe into this connection between your left hand and your heart space. Feeling that connection of your awareness with this heart space. Noticing how you might feel slightly different as you bring your attention and your awareness onto this part of the body. Noticing how your heart is feeling right now. Maybe it's open, maybe it's closed, maybe it's tender. Whatever it is for you, just noticing, knowing there's no right and wrong. It's perfect however it is. And just honoring yourself for taking this time to acknowledge. Allowing your breath to continue to breathe you, to find its own steady state and rhythm that you don't need to force or manage, so that you can start to relax. You can start to rest into this connection that you have between the palm of your left hand and your heart space. Inviting into this space a sense of appreciation. And if it feels like you're able to bring in appreciation for yourself, for carving out the time today to really connect, to do the work, to serve what nourishes you, what nurtures you, what helps you stay connected, aligned, empowered, and maybe even inspired. And as you feel that sense of gratitude, as you invite it, as you allow it, perhaps if there's resistance, you just open up a willingness. You start to feel a lightness, an expansion, maybe even a spaciousness in this space in your chest. Maybe you feel it like a warm glow. Maybe you feel it like a bright light. Whatever it is for you is perfect. Whether you sense it, feel it, or you can just playfully imagine. Continuing to breathe. And then bringing your fingers together of your palm, bringing your thumb in, pressing the palm against your chest. And I want you to imagine that this left hand is the energy of the mother in all the forms that we can imagine. Mother Earth, our own mother, the mother within us. As we breathe in this mothering energy, I want you to feel as though you are held by this energy. And as you feel that you're held by this energy, connecting your heart all the way down as you breathe, down into your womb, into your pelvis. As you breathe all the way down into the roots that connect you down into the earth, through the sacrum and maybe the soles of the feet. Imagining these roots traveling further down and down, all the way into the layers of the earth, all the way down through the layers of soil, of minerals, of rocks, of magma, all the way to the very center of Gaia, Pachamama. And as you breathe in once more deeply into this heart space, knowing, sensing, or imagining that you are connected from your heart to hers. Anchoring yourself into the earth that your body is part of and came from and belongs to. Maybe allowing yourself to relax into the knowledge that you're held and unconditionally loved. As you begin to notice now your position, that you are in a safe space of grace. You are the center point. Your heart is a center point of all the directions, north, south, east, and west, above and below. And as we anchor down below into the earth, we begin to call in the support that is always available to us. As we call in the four elements, earth, water, fire, and air. As we call in the energy and spirits of the seas and oceans, lakes, rivers, waterways, rain. As we call in the protective forces and wisdom of the mountains, the spirit guides of the trees, of the grasslands, of the flowers and their beauty and their essence, the devas, the fairies, the fays, the animals, four-legged, two-legged, the insects, the winged, the finned, and all living beings that we share this sacred land, these sacred lands with in this time and all others. And we also invite in our healed and illumined ancestors, those that have walked the path before us, now turned to dust. We honor them. We are grateful for their guidance here today to bring in healing, protection, activation of all of the gifts that they are ready to bestow upon us. We ask that they help to guide us, illuminate in our awareness what it is that we are here to bring forth, that they help bolster us with their strength and their courage, their wisdom and their knowledge. We bow to them in our thanks and gratitude. As we take a deep breath in, we allow all of these energies to be present here with us today as we open up this sacred space. Taking your right hand, placing your right hand now over the left on your heart center. May this right hand represent the Father, the energy of all that lies above, our inner masculine and inner Father, our Father in this life, our Father in spirit above, Father of the sky, of the central sun, all of those masculine energies that are in right relationship to our highest good. As we begin to turn our attention as we breathe in now, upward to all that lies above our vertical axis, to the benevolent beings and spirit guides, to the angels and masters, to the energies and intelligences that guide us, willing and in love, helping us to remember, helping us to recalibrate to our divine blueprint so that we may bring forth in this life what we agreed to before we came, so that we can stay on mission, aligned with love, the love that we are, seeing through the eyes of love, resting on, within, the love that is always available to us, the love that is our truth, always and in all ways. As we breathe in, we allow all of the support above to guide and protect us here today. I want you to imagine now that the light that is surrounding you above and below, all of these energies that are holding us in our sacred space, enter in through the left and the right hand, enter into the very center of your heart, and it lights it up like a star. Mother, Father, God, self within, source within, spark of light, still, quiet center, truth and beauty that you are. Taking one more deep breath in and imagining that that light from the center of your heart starts to grow now, bigger and brighter until it starts to expand in front of you and behind you, either side of you, above your head and below your feet, until you're cocooned in this beautiful light. Maybe it has a color, a sheen or a shimmer. Maybe it's pure white. Maybe it's violet, maybe it's pink, whatever it is for you, just allowing it to be and enjoying it as it reveals itself. And now you begin to notice, you find yourself in a beautiful place in nature. You allow your playful imagination to unveil this place to you. The most beautiful of places. Maybe it's somewhere you've been before, on this earth plane or in your mind's eye or in some other dimension. But you find yourself there now and you begin to notice its beauty. Maybe there's a smell that reminds you of this place. Maybe there's a certain sound, wind through the trees, the waves. Maybe you can even feel the breeze on your skin, the temperature of the air. You can maybe even look down and see the shoes you're wearing or your bare feet and notice the land that you're standing on. Taking another breath in as you allow yourself to arrive in this space, knowing you are totally safe. Totally safe, completely held and fully protected. Exhale. And you notice you're still in this beautiful cocoon. And this beautiful cocoon is growing brighter and brighter every moment. Brighter and brighter. And as it goes brighter, it also grows lighter. And you start to find yourself floating ever so slightly above the ground, and then a little higher, and then a little higher. And then you find yourself, as if by magic, glowing in the night sky, surrounded by the infinite blackness, surrounded by other flickering lights and stars. And somewhere in your being, you know that these stars, these lights around you, are known to you. They are others in this life, others that are your divine teachers, others that you're in sacred contract with, soul contract with. And you begin to notice now that you are connected to some of these stars. Some are far, far away in the distance, but some are super close. And you begin to see or know or sense that you're connected with cords to some and others, maybe some in front of you, behind you, above you, below you. Knowing it is safe to see these connections. Knowing it is safe to understand the attachments that are here, and setting the intentions to release any attachments, any cords, any limitations that are no longer required for your highest good and the highest good of all, that are no longer required for this next part of your journey, for your soul's path. Perhaps some attachments come from others, perhaps some attachments come from you. It doesn't matter. As we set the intention to release these now, you notice that the cocoon you're in is starting to spin, almost as though there's a capsule around you and it's spinning faster and faster now, faster and faster, faster and faster. And as it does, these cords start to fall away. They start to fall away, and you notice that the cords that have been attached and hooked into you from others start to reach up to the sky. And as you look above you, you notice that your cords that you had attached into others start to reach up. And as you follow with your gaze and with your attention to these cords that are reaching up, you find yourself growing higher and higher. And as you go higher and higher, and the light around you starts to slow and starts to slow until you come to stillness, in a place of such serenity and so much light. As you breathe in, you're surrounded by such softness, by such pure light. Perhaps you find yourself sitting on a cloud. Wherever it is that you find yourself right now, you notice that you are stepping onto the front steps of a beautiful temple. It feels known to you. You've been here before. And you take a couple of steps up to enter into this temple, noticing its design, the material it's made of. And as you take a few steps in, you become aware that you are not the only one here. You become aware of a divine presence. Your higher self has come to meet you here, and they begin to reveal themselves in this moment, perhaps showing themselves like to like as you, perhaps as an animal, perhaps as some other being, perhaps with clarity or perhaps not. Knowing that you are safe to be seen. And you approach your higher self as they approach you. You feel their love radiating towards you. And as you do, you allow your hands to drop down to your lap as they come and embrace you fully. You feel an outpouring of their love. You are completely held. You are completely safe. You are completely loved. You are honored and celebrated and known and understood in a way that you may have never experienced before. And you allow yourself to be held, to be seen, to be heard, to be loved. You recognize just how lovable you are. You recognize just how worthy you are. And in this embrace, your heart, your energy, your being receives all that it needs to in this moment. As you breathe in and you release. Your higher self steps back now and is leading you, guiding you over to a part of the temple that may be new. And you begin to see where they're taking you now. There is a beautiful crystal pool filled with water that is shimmering and sparkling and feels so magical. And you know that this pool you need to enter. And there are perfect little steps into the pool, and you notice what's around it. And the pool is a perfect temperature. The liquid in this pool feels amazing to you. It's so silky and smooth, wet and dry all at once. And it feels so relaxing to enter in and to sit down and to just take a moment. Take a moment as you breathe in. And as you breathe in, you feel all of the magical energy, the revitalizing energy of this pool making its way into each and every one of your pores. And as you exhale, you feel as though any heaviness, any tension, any tightness, anything that you no longer need is simply being absorbed, transmuted into shimmering light. You even feel that there's a sense of gratitude by the spirit of this liquid, this water around you. So grateful to be able to serve you in this way. And it humbles you and your heart. You take one more moment here, knowing that all debris is being released, knowing that this healing is a gift. And then when you're ready, you begin to make your way out of the pool. However feels nice to you. Maybe you're instantly dry. Maybe you have the fluffiest of towels. Maybe you get dressed. Maybe you stayed dressed. Whatever works for you, imagining your way out of this pool now. And as you come out, you turn to your higher self. And you see that they have a tear in their eye, for they are so proud of you. They're so grateful for you doing the work that you're doing, for being who you are, for shining your light. And as you look down, you notice that they're handing you an object, a sacred symbol. Perhaps it has meaning to your logical mind right now, but if it doesn't, that's perfect too. You can receive this gift. You can take it away with you. You can ask for its meaning to be revealed if it seems unclear in this moment. Taking it into your heart space and taking one final moment to have a final embrace with your higher self. Taking 3 breaths to breathe in anything that you need to take with you, any of their wisdom, their light, any aspects of yourself, any downloads, any recalibrations to your mission, to your truth, to your strength, to your clarity, confidence, joy, connection, and love. Knowing that you can ask for and receive whatever feels right for you, and you do that now. And now it's time to go. And it feels so fun to go because as you turn around, you notice there is a really cool slide. And this slide is going to be like a slip and slide all the way back down. And it's going to make it so easy with so much fun and grace. And so you jump onto this slide and you kiss your higher self goodbye, unless they come with you, which is perfect too, whatever works best. And you slip and slide all the way back down. And as you slide all the way back down, you're getting tinier and tinier and tinier until you land. And you notice you've landed on the top of your head. What? I'm on the top of my head, a really, really tiny you. And as you do, you find yourself tapping on the top of your head 3 times with your foot. And as you tap 3 times with your foot on your top of your head, you send a vibration of your divine blueprint recalibrated to your highest timeline, to your purest mission, to your greatest truth, to your whole and fullest expression, and to the embodiment and commitment to love. And this vibration, this blueprint, this patterning ripples through your whole body, all the way from the crown of your head to the very tips of your toes. And you notice that you've just tapped on a trap door below you. And so you open that and you climb through, and little tiny you starts to climb down a little ladder that happens very fast. But you suddenly come to the ground, and the ground is right in the center of your heart. And in the center of your heart, you clap 3 times. And as you clap 3 times, a light comes on, and you notice around you so many lights come on. You're surrounded by lights, and it looks so beautiful, almost like fireflies or a million bulbs or tiny little fairy lights. And as you breathe in, there's a ripple effect, and these lights start to spread throughout the trillions and trillions of cells of your body. And as you keep breathing now, that light ripples all the way across your chest, all the way down into your solar plexus, sacral chakra, and root. Those lights start to ripple down across your shoulders, your arms, your elbows, forearms, hands, palms, fingers. Those lights start to wake up and switch on and light up and turn up all the way across your upper back, the back of your heart, your neck, your throat, your head, your third eye, your ears, your nose, your eyes, all the way down your legs, knees, calves and feet, every single toe, every single toenail, fingernail, as you breathe in. And you are glowing like such a magnificent light right now, in all of your glory. You begin to feel your spaciousness, your dignity, and your power. And as you bring your awareness back into your whole full body now, growing to real life size, you spread out that light with one powerful explosion as you breathe in and exhale. And as you breathe in again, that light remains as bright as it was before throughout the whole body. But now you begin to notice that you are within your own bubble, your own perfectly protected, sacred, divine bubble of love and light. The outside of this bubble, you notice how far it is from your being. It has a shimmer or a sheen. Perhaps the inside mirrors back to you a perfect reflection of all aspects of you that you can see as much or as little as is right for you right now. And the outside does the same. It sends back any energy, anything directed your way, to its center with consciousness and compassion attached. And as you breathe in, you set with your intention that this bubble of love remain in place, that it holds you within your energy, because you came here to light this world up. And you don't need to take on anyone else's stuff. You don't need to look to anyone else for this light, for this love that you hold within you. That you can turn up this light as you need anytime by drawing the breath deep into the body, deep into that still, luminous, divine center that is the source within you. That is you. And when you're ready, starting to bring some movement back into the body, starting to wriggle fingers or toes, maybe rolling shoulders, wrists, ankles, whatever your body is asking you to do to come back, and then rubbing the hands together. Bringing some heat, bring some chi back into the hands, making sure you're fully back, and then placing those hands over the closed eyes. Block out the light and blink open the eyes into this darkness. This darkness is simply pure potentiality. This darkness is nothing to be feared. This darkness is the quantum. This darkness is where you create from. You are the light. As you look up, down, left, and right, draw a big circle with your eyes in one direction and the other, coming back to center. And when you're ready, slowly drawing the hands away from the face, blinking open the eyes and coming back. All right, welcome back, everybody. It was a little bit longer than I expected. Thank you for staying with me. Feel free to have a little stretch, have a little sip of water. If anyone, actually, it would be really nice if anyone wishes to share anything. Feel free to share in the chat right now, maybe if you wish to share what your gift was, anything that came through, how you're feeling. It would be really lovely to have your input. Oh, thank you, Layla. Layla says, beautiful, Amy, thank you so much. Kerry says, where are you? I am at home in my apartment in Turkey, Kerry. Yes, anyone else, if you wish to share anything for a couple of moments before I move into the second part, light and spacey. Okay, make sure that you have a nice stretch out and have a sip of water. And if you need to ground after this call, go and put your feet on the earth, please do. Feeling great, that was beautiful. My higher self gave me a Tinkerbell hair clip. I love that little bit of fairy magic. Amazing. I know, perfectly timed the call to prayer, huh? I thought that as well. It's beautiful. when we bring the masculine energy in. Yeah, oh my goodness, of course. Yeah, cool. Very cool. All right. So I'm going to move on then to the codes, the bit of the session that might make a little bit more sense to our logical mind. So some of the questions that I posed in the emails and in the lead up to this session were things such as what to do when we feel oversensitive and empathetic and we feel like we're taking on all the energy around us. So we kind of touched upon it in this meditation, right? Creating your own love bubble, creating your own bubble of protection, setting that intention and knowing the power of that intention before you leave the house, before you go about your day. Beginning with that kind of conscious intention can be really, really powerful. What happens when you get pulled off center in those moments when you've started your day, you've set your energy, you've done all your rituals, and then you kind of sit down to work and then it's like magpie syndrome. Everything, your phone, a million tabs open on your computer, maybe another snack. What happens in those times when you find yourself being pulled off center or in those kind of sabotagey energies, whether within you or other people around you? So one thing that I found super powerful for this is, again, bringing that consciousness back in and asking, what do I need to do next? Writing that one thing down and just doing that one thing first. Make it as simple as possible, especially when we are finding that overwhelm is hitting, you know, when you've got a massive to-do list or you're really feeling that you're bombarded by energies around you, energies of the collective. I find it for me really, really helpful to be like, right, what's just the one thing that I need to do next? And how long do I give myself to do that? Maybe I give myself half an hour, maybe I give myself an hour. So just allowing yourself to come back in to one simple focus of attention. Okay. My third question was, or my third thing that I wanted to share was something that has been so front and center for me for the last month, which is this idea of anchoring into love. So one thing that can really pull us out of our center, out of the love that we are, is when we come into the mind, when we come into judgments, when we get triggered. And one thing that I find really helps is just taking that breath, maybe even putting a hand on my heart and just allowing myself to feel that love for myself first, give it to myself first. And then if I'm able to, it opens up the space to be able to direct that out to others, maybe to be able to see something with a little bit more compassion, maybe to be able to remember that that trigger is my teacher. And even if I'm not able to do all of that, I've given myself love in that moment. I've anchored back into that truth. One mantra I really love, which I think is Gabby Bernstein's, which is I realize I've chosen fear and I ask to choose again. I ask to be led by the teacher of love. And I really like that because it's going, I've forgotten. I remembered. I surrender. I allow. Let love be my guide. So whatever words kind of work for you, but just remembering that you can come back to your truth and your power, remembering that you can always anchor back into the heart, anchoring back into love. One other thing, wanting more harmony, wanting a simpler life, wanting that ease, it all starts within us. If we can slow down, and the one thing that I found above anything else that allows me to do that is to slow down the breath first. Can I breathe in? Can I breathe out? Can I remember that I'm here in my body? I remember that it's now. Can I find that slowness within first? And then you get to be the bender of time and everything can slow around you because you're viewing through that perception. Okay, the last thing that I was in the emails was, what if I'm feeling the desire to retreat and hide and isolate? So I've put in here a full permission slip to really connect in with what your needs are. There's a lot going on in the collective. We're more sensitive after lockdowns and COVID. And so what happens if you really honor what your needs are? What if you do need a little bit more space? Can you start that relationship and that dialogue with yourself? So one thing that I've started doing is kind of making things bite-sized. So if I'm going to do something, I'll be like, okay, so I know I want to be social, but these are the ways that serve me in being social. Maybe it's that if my energy is low, I want to do that online first rather than going out and into someone else's space. So starting to really just break it down and be really kind and almost curious with yourself as to what new ways of doing things really work for you as you find yourself now in this moment, and allowing yourself to let go of any of those shoulds and oughts, and also a sense of what's normal, because there's no such thing. We're all ever changing, multifaceted, wonderfully complex and dynamic. And it may be one day that you just don't want to have to go and do X, Y, and Z. And so, what happens if you give yourself the permission to say, okay, today that is perfect? That's what I'm going to gift myself today. So, yeah, that's all I want to say about that one. Okay, last few bits. I put here, this is what came through, and I've covered a few of them anyway, but this is what came through when I was in the energy earlier. Seeing through the lens of love. When we're struggling, when we're being pulled out of that peaceful center within, asking for love to guide us. Remembering everything is a mirror. And so rather than judging it, getting super interested about what it's trying to teach us. Whatever is coming up in us, especially when we get to see aspects of our shadows that are hard to love, or parts of ourselves we don't like, or emotions that we disapprove of, we have the opportunity to love everything that comes up. And if we can't love it, we can accept it's here first and just allow it to be. So stepping into the position of observer, of witness, of being the one that notices rather than being those things. Loving what we've been through, when we get pulled into the past, mistakes we've made, things that perhaps regrets we have, or anything that likes to come and haunt us. What if we can honor it and love that we have lived through it, we've survived it, and deepen into a faith that it was orchestrated for our greatest growth and to get us to where we are now and to all of the beauty that's ahead. Sacred no. Asking our body what our no is, not our mind, not what we think we should be doing, not what we used to be able to do, not what we think we can do. What can my nervous system handle right now? What does my body want to do right now? And honoring that. Sacred no. When you're pulled into confusion, asking for the truth and knowing that it will be revealed in divine timing. So if you're in that state of confusion, when you get into your head, when it's all too much, asking for the truth and just living the question until it comes through. Yes, I think that's all I want to say. Oh yeah, being in your body when we're with others. So for me, I'm super sensitive, and I know a lot of people on the call are as well, which is why you joined the call today. You probably have no trouble feeling how other people are feeling. You maybe even feeling how they're feeling in their body, their physical sensations. And it's such a beautiful gift, and it enables us to heal and help and be empathetic and kind and all of those things. And it can also be super overwhelming. It can also lead us to disassociate when it's super overwhelming. And so one thing that I found, and I'm still learning, but it's a practice at the moment, is when I feel myself being pulled into someone else's energy, and almost do it unconsciously, just feel a part of your body. Can I feel my big toe? Can I feel my knee? Can I feel my sit bones on this chair? How's my palms feeling? And just bringing that awareness back into your own body automatically, because where our attention goes, energy flows, brings our energy back into us. And so I'm finding it to be a practice, but that can be really helpful, just to come back into your own body when you're in the presence of a lot of other people, and you're kind of doing that empathetic, beautiful thing of feeling other people's things, but it's too much coming back into your own space. And when you come back into your own space, kind of part 2 of that is just getting to be present with whatever's there. And I love the question, what do I need right now? Or how am I feeling? And just being present to that can change so much, especially if we're in a moment of being triggered, rather than being in that other person's energy and reacting to it, coming back into my energy and then being the one that can say, okay, wait, what do I need right now? Oh, I'm acknowledging that's hard. And rather than being the one that's finding it hard, I'm suddenly the one that's acknowledging that it's hard, and I'm back in my power. So all of these little tips and tricks to reframe, to get back into observation mode. Okay, cool. The last thing I want to say and leave it on is just to really honor your sensitivity in a world where we're taught to not feel and just to do, and just all of that stoic kind of crazy repression and suppression of our emotions. I really, really honor you for feeling, for having the sensitivity, for having the courage to continue to feel, to be sensitive in a wildly transitioning and challenging world at the moment. So my invitation to you is to love all of the ways in which you're sensitive, to celebrate them, and to know that actually it is an absolute superpower, and we get to practice the alchemy of making it that superpower by witnessing ourselves and by being present with ourselves and by loving all of those bits of ourselves that maybe previously had a really tough time, knowing that we're going to be the one that is there for them ongoing. So yeah, I just want to say that to close up. I think I hope today has served you. I hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, I'm going to open up. If anyone has any questions or wants to say anything, feel free to come off mute. We've got about 10 minutes before we close. So over to you guys.
Thank you, Amy. It was really nice and really